Hello, resourceful learners, and a very warm welcome back to Grow English Mastery. I'm Scarlett, and I am so excited to share today's story with you. A story about ingenuity, incredible perseverance, and building a billion-dollar company from a simple idea and a lot of hard work. Have you ever had a brilliant idea but weren't sure how to make it a reality? Today, we're diving into the inspiring journey of Sara Blakely, the founder of Spanx. She's a self-made businesswoman who revolutionized the fashion industry with her innovative shapewear, transforming not only how women look in their clothes, but also how they feel. Her story from selling fax machines door to door to becoming one of the world's youngest self-made female billionaires is truly remarkable. It's a fantastic topic for our A2B1 English learners, as we'll explore entrepreneurship, innovation, and the power of believing in yourself, all while improving our English. Why is learning about Sara Blakely important? Her story is a masterclass in resilience, creative problem-solving, and building a brand from the ground up with limited resources. She challenged norms and faced countless rejections but never gave up on her vision. For English learners, discussing her life provides a vibrant context for vocabulary related to business, product development, marketing, and female empowerment. Our goals for this session are to understand Sara Blakely's entrepreneurial journey, to learn about the invention and meteoric rise of Spanx, to explore her unique business philosophy and marketing strategies, and to appreciate her impact as an innovator and philanthropist, and, as always, we will highlight useful English vocabulary and grammar to help you discuss this phenomenal entrepreneur. So let's get ready to be inspired by the tenacity and creativity of Sara Blakely. Sara Blakely. Blakely was born on February 27, 1971 in Clearwater, Florida, USA. Growing up, Sara was encouraged by her father to embrace failure as a learning opportunity. He would often ask her and her brother what they had failed at during the week, and if they hadn't failed at anything, he would be disappointed, as it meant they hadn't tried anything new or challenging. This mindset would prove invaluable later, in her entrepreneurial journey. After graduating from Florida State University with a degree in communication, Sara initially planned to become an attorney, like her father. However, she performed poorly on the LSAT, the law school admission test, twice, and decided that law school was not for her. She then took a job at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, where she worked for a few months and even did some stand-up comedy. Her next career move was into sales. For 7 years, Sara Blakely sold fax machines door-to-door for a company called Donka. It was a tough job, often involving cold calling and facing rejection daily. However, she became very good at it, eventually becoming a national sales trainer. This experience taught her invaluable lessons about sales, perseverance, how to handle rejection, and the importance of listening to customers. The idea for Spanx came out of her own personal frustration. Sara wanted to wear a pair of cream-colored pants to a party, but she didn't have the right undergarment to provide a smooth look without lines showing. She tried various options, but nothing worked perfectly. In a moment of ingenuity, she took a pair of control-top pantyhose, cut off the feet, and wore them under her pants. While the result was a smoother silhouette, the legs of the cut-off pantyhose kept rolling up. However, she knew she was onto something. She realized there was a need for a comfortable, effective undergarment that would eliminate visible panty lines and provide a slimming effect. For the next 2 years, while still working her full-time sales job, Sara Blakely dedicated her evenings and weekends to developing her idea. She had $5,000 in savings to invest in her new venture. She researched hosiery patents, designed her initial prototype, and searched for hosiery mills that could manufacture her product. This was a challenging process. Most mill owners, who were men, didn't understand her concept or see the potential market for it. She faced countless rejections. Undeterred, Sara eventually found a mill owner in North Carolina who was willing to take a chance on her idea, partly because his own daughters had encouraged him. She worked closely with the manufacturers to perfect the design and the unique waistband. She also wrote her own patent application to save money on legal fees and came up with the name Spanx, choosing it because it sounded memorable, slightly cheeky, and she had heard that made-up words often did well in branding and could be easily trademarked. The X sound was also thought to be effective in names. Once she had her product, Sara Blakely faced the next hurdle, getting it into stores. She famously cold-called and pitched her product to high-end department stores. Her big break came when a buyer from Neiman Marcus agreed to meet with her. To demonstrate the effectiveness of Spanx, Sara reportedly took the buyer into the ladies' restroom and showed her the before and after difference under her own clothes. The buyer was convinced and placed an order. Spanx officially launched in 2000. Sara Blakely handled everything herself in the early days: marketing, shipping, and customer service, often from her apartment. She used unconventional marketing tactics. She sent gift baskets with her product to Oprah Winfrey's show. In a stroke of luck, Oprah chose Spanx as one of her favorite things in 2000, which led to a massive surge in demand and public awareness. This endorsement was a game-changer for the brand. Sara's authentic and relatable personality was also a key part of Spanx's marketing. She wasn't afraid to talk openly about body image and the everyday wardrobe challenges women faced. She often used herself in the early packaging and marketing materials. Spanx grew rapidly, expanding its product line from the original footless pantyhose to include a wide range of shapewear, hosiery, bras, activewear, and even men's undergarments. Sara Blakely retained 100% ownership of her company for many years, which is highly unusual for such a successful and rapidly growing business. In 2012, Forbes magazine featured her on its cover as the world's youngest self-made female billionaire. In 2021, a majority stake in Spanx was acquired by the investment firm Blackstone, valuing the company at $1.2 billion, with Blakely becoming executive chairwoman. Now, let's focus on some grammar points that are useful when discussing an entrepreneurial success story like Sara Blakely's. First, the past simple tense, crucial for narrating her journey and the development of Spanx. Sara Blakely was born in 1971 in Florida. She worked as a fax machine salesperson for 7 years. She invented Spanx out of personal frustration. Oprah Winfrey featured Spanx as one of her favorite things. Spanx grew into a global brand. Second, modal verbs of ability and possibility in the past: could, couldn't, was able to, managed to. She couldn't find the right undergarment for her pants. Many mill owners couldn't understand her product concept initially. She was able to get a meeting with a buyer from Neiman Marcus. She managed to convince them to place an order. Oprah's endorsement helped Spanx reach a massive audience. Help plus base verb or help plus to infinitive. Third, reported speech, indirect speech, often used when talking about what people said or thought, which is common in biographical stories. Her father told her that failure was a learning opportunity. Mill. Owners said they didn't think her product would sell. Oprah announced that Spanx was one of her favorite things. Sara explained that she wanted to create a comfortable and effective undergarment. Fourth, purpose clauses, to plus infinitive in order to plus infinitive, so that plus clause, to explain the reasons behind actions. She cut the feet off her pantyhose to create a smoother look. She researched patents in order to protect her idea. She cold-called department stores so that she could get her product on shelves. She worked tirelessly to make Spanx a success. Let's explore some effective ways to practice English through the inspiring story of Sara Blakely. For listening, watch interviews with Sara Blakely. She's a very engaging and funny speaker. Or documentaries, segments about Spanx or female entrepreneurs. Pay attention to her storytelling and the language she uses to describe her experiences. For speaking, discuss Sara Blakely's entrepreneurial qualities. What made her successful? What challenges did she overcome? Talk about an invention or product you think is clever. For reading, read articles about Sara Blakely, Spanx, or stories of other self-made entrepreneurs, especially women. Business magazines and websites often feature such stories. For writing, write a short summary of how Sara Blakely built Spanx from an idea into a billion-dollar company. Or, write about an idea you have for a product or service and what steps you might take to develop it. Now let's explore 10 key vocabulary words related to Sara Blakely, Spanx, and entrepreneurship. Entrepreneur, noun. A person who sets up a business or businesses, taking on financial risks in the hope of profit. Sara Blakely is a highly successful entrepreneur and inventor. Many aspiring entrepreneurs look up to her as a role model. The government offers support programs for young entrepreneurs. Self-made, adjective. Having become successful or rich by one's own efforts. Sara Blakely is celebrated as a self-made female billionaire. His self-made success story is truly inspiring. She built her company from scratch and is entirely self-made. Innovation, noun. The introduction of new ideas, methods, or things. A new idea, method, or device. Spanx was an innovation in the undergarment industry. The company is known for its continuous product innovation. Innovation is crucial for businesses to stay competitive. Prototype, noun. A first or preliminary version of a device or vehicle from which other forms are developed. Sara Blakely created the initial prototype for Spanx herself. Engineers build and test several prototypes before finalizing a design. The prototype helped her demonstrate the product concept. Patent, noun. Verb, noun. A government authority or license conferring a right or title for a set period, especially the sole right to exclude others from making, using, or selling an invention. Verb, to obtain a patent for an invention. Sara Blakely researched hosiery patents before developing Spanx. Noun. She decided to patent her invention to protect her idea. Verb. Holding a patent can give a company a significant competitive advantage. Perseverance. Noun. Continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, failure, or opposition. Sara Blakely's success is a testament to her perseverance in the face of rejection. Achieving any ambitious goal requires immense perseverance. Despite many setbacks, her perseverance never wavered. Retailer, noun. A person or business that sells goods to the public in relatively small quantities for use or consumption rather than for resale. She pitched Spanx to major department store retailers. Online retailers have transformed the shopping landscape. The product is now available at leading retailers worldwide. Endorsement, noun. An act of giving one's public approval or support to someone or something. Oprah Winfrey's endorsement of Spanx was a turning point for the brand. Celebrity endorsements can significantly boost product sales. The product received a strong endorsement from industry experts. Shapewear, noun. Underwear designed to smooth and shape the figure. Spanx became a household name for shapewear. Many women use shapewear to enhance their silhouette under clothing. The shapewear market has grown significantly in recent years. Philanthropist, noun. A person who seeks to promote the welfare of others, especially by the generous donation of money to good causes. Sara Blakely is also known as a philanthropist, supporting women's empowerment. Many successful entrepreneurs become philanthropists later in their careers. The philanthropist donated millions to education and healthcare initiatives. Practice using these words. Try incorporating them into sentences about Sara Blakely, entrepreneurship, or product development. Let's look at some more grammar examples, focusing on Sara Blakely and the Spanx story. Describing her early experiences and the birth of the idea. While she was selling fax machines, she learned a lot about resilience. Past continuous for an ongoing action when another action occurred was learned. She couldn't find an undergarment that would give her a smooth look. Modal couldn't, plus relative clause with would for a desired future quality from a past perspective. The idea for Spanx came from her own need. Past simple with phrasal verb come from. Talking about the challenges and her determination. Despite being rejected by many manufacturers, she didn't give up. Gerund phrase with despite. Plus, past simple with phrasal verb, give up. She had to convince retailers that her product was unique and effective. Modal had to for necessity, plus noun clause with that. If Oprah hadn't featured Spanx, its growth might have been slower. Third conditional for a hypothetical past. Reflecting on her success and philosophy, she is known for encouraging others to embrace failure as part of the journey. Present passive is known for plus, gerund, plus, infinitive. By believing in her idea and working incredibly hard, She built a billion-dollar company, gerund phrases of manner plus past simple. Spanx not only became a successful product, but also empowered many women. Correlative conjunctions, not only, but also. These examples illustrate how various grammatical structures help us to narrate Sara Blakely's inspiring journey and understand the elements of her remarkable success. Sara Blakely's story is a vibrant example of how a simple, everyday problem, when met with ingenuity and relentless determination, can lead to extraordinary success. What's particularly inspiring is her approach. She wasn't an expert in fashion or manufacturing when she started. She was driven by a personal need and a belief that she could create a solution. Her experience selling fax machines door to door, while seemingly unrelated, was crucial. It taught her how to handle rejection, a skill essential for any entrepreneur. She heard no countless times, from manufacturers, from patent lawyers she consulted, before deciding to write her own, and initially from retailers. But her father's lesson about embracing failure gave her the resilience to keep going. Her marketing was also brilliant and authentic. She didn't have a big advertising budget, so she relied on her own story, word of mouth, and creative ways to get attention. Becoming the face of her own brand, even using her own friends and family in early marketing, made Spanx relatable and trustworthy. And of course, the Oprah effect was a massive catalyst. But it was Sara's initiative in reaching out that made that moment possible. Retaining 100% ownership of her company for so long is another remarkable aspect of her story. It meant she had complete control over her vision and her brand, and it underscored her confidence in her product and her business model. Beyond her business success, Sara Blakely has become a powerful advocate for women entrepreneurs. Through her Spanx by Sara Blakely Foundation, she has pledged to support women through education and entrepreneurship, helping other women to achieve their dreams just as she did. She often talks about the importance of mindset, of visualizing success, and of not being afraid to ask for what you want. Her journey reminds us that great ideas can come from anyone, anywhere. You don't need a business degree or a lot of money to start something impactful. What you need is a good idea that solves a real problem, an unwavering belief in yourself, and the perseverance to see it through despite the obstacles. As we conclude our session on the phenomenal Sara Blakely, let's summarize the key takeaways. First, we learned about Sara Blakely's early life, her pre-Spanx career selling fax machines, and the personal frustration that led to her innovative idea for a new undergarment. Second, we explored her journey of developing Spanx, overcoming numerous rejections from manufacturers and retailers, and her unconventional yet highly effective marketing strategies. Third, we highlighted the incredible growth of Spanx into a global brand, making Sara Blakely one of the world's youngest self-made female billionaires, and her subsequent philanthropic efforts to empower women. Fourth, we reviewed essential grammar for discussing entrepreneurship, including the past simple modal verbs of past ability, reported speech, and purpose clauses. We also expanded our vocabulary with terms such as entrepreneur, self-made, innovation, prototype, and perseverance. And finally, we drew inspiration from her tenacity, her belief in her idea, her authentic approach to branding, and her commitment to failing forward and supporting other women. I hope this exploration of Sara Blakely's life has not only been beneficial for your English skills, but has also inspired you with her incredible story of turning a simple idea into a billion-dollar empire through sheer grit and ingenuity. Thank you for joining me today on Grow English Mastery. What aspect of Sara Blakely's story or her approach to business do you find most inspiring? Are there other entrepreneurs whose stories of building something from scratch you admire? Please share your thoughts, insights, and any questions in the comments section below. Your active participation is always a highlight of our community. If you found this story of a self-made innovator engaging and it helped your English learning, please give it a thumbs up. It really supports our channel. And if you haven't subscribed to Grow English Mastery yet, please make sure to do so and click the notification bell so you won't miss our future lessons. Sharing this video with friends or anyone who dreams of starting their own business or needs a dose of inspiration would be wonderful. Keep learning, keep innovating, and don't be afraid to pursue your unique ideas. Until next time, take care and happy learning. Bye for now.